The suspect is identified as Lorraine Alvarado. She is a 31-year-old Hispanic female adult, 5'2", 130 pounds. She's pictured here to my left. Alvarado was armed with a Taurus G2C 9mm handgun. The investigation revealed that Alvarado did not fire the weapon. You can see the photos of the handgun to my left. Alvarado's charges are robbery with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit robbery with a deadly weapon, grand larceny of a motor vehicle, own or possess a gun by a prohibited person, assault with deadly weapon on a protected person, 2 counts, resisting a public officer with a firearm, 2 counts. Alvarado's prior felony convictions include a burglary from 2018, robbery with deadly weapon in 2016, conspiracy to commit robbery 2011, and an additional robbery charge in 2011. We were dealing with a person who's been arrested for 4 violent felony crimes in the past, who was most recently arrested in February of this year for theft, who received a plea deal and was subsequently released.
401, 401. I got 2 men. I'm gonna shoot you. Get down, get down.
As you can see here, you'll see the suspect turn and point her firearm at our officers. There's this picture, and then one additional where the handgun is directly pointing towards our brave officer.
Gun! Drop it, drop it, drop it! Drop it, gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Hey, hold!
You can see how she's running with the handgun in her hand while the officer tries to de-escalate by giving her commands to drop it. You can also see over here the handgun is still in her hand as she points it at her officer, and it slowly falls out of her hands after. There's a picture of the handgun that she's running with. Here's the picture of her pointing the handgun at our officer. And there's a picture of it still in her hand from his point of view. And that's the picture of the firearm as it fell to the ground. So actually, do me a favor. Go back to the, one more slide. One more. That one right there. I'd like everyone to take notice to that slide for a particular reason. Zoom back out to the normal of what it was. That picture, though, should aggravate this community. That picture is a suspect who has no regard for the consequences of her actions. And then in that same still picture, it shows 2 officers from Las Vegas Metro on the far right and the officer's perspective here. Those officers are displaying the bravery and courage, how they chase down, run towards a person that's pointing a firearm at them to take them into custody. It represents what our officers are up against each and every day, and their willingness to go after these bad people and these suspects that are willing to have no regard for their actions. And the courage that's displayed here is exemplary, and it represents the finest of our officers, and it, again, exemplifies what our officers deal with each and every day. So, with that, I'll take any questions.
How close is she to the officers in this image?
I want to say that was roughly about 20 feet.
Or less.
Or 20 feet or less.
Thank you.
Sir, you said she was a passenger. Who was driving the stolen vehicle?
There was a total of 3 people in the car to include her. The other 2 have been arrested by our robbery detail. The driver was arrested, and for the appropriate robbery charges and the accident that occurred, as well as the passenger that was still in the car was also charged. We focused this part of the briefing just on the officer-involved shooting part.
Was the second body camera from Officer Barr or Officer Garcia? The one where she's crouching?
The one where she's crouching, it's going to be from Officer Barr.
Thank you. And was it an attempted robbery or a successful robbery?
It was a successful robbery.
Thank you.
Do you have an update on the suspect's status in the hospital?
Still in critical condition in the hospital. Okay, thank you very much.